Welcome back to Normal Baseball. We are continuing our 2023 team projection will be series. Today we have the Chicago White Sox. Let's talk about them. What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Normal Baseball 2023 Will Be Series, our team projection series for the 2023 MLB season. I'm Alex Normal Dog, that's Lewis, and we will be talking about the Chicago White Sox today. The Chicago Mid Sox, as many know them as. They were 81-81 last season. They had a lot of issues. They underperformed, which seems to be a common theme. But today we're going to be talking about them. We, a couple weeks ago, did our team power rankings. We ranked each team on a scale of 1 to 10 in 7 different categories, a total score adding up to 70. And we ranked them in order of highest to lowest. And the White Sox came as the 17th best team in baseball and the 10th best team in the American League. So, are you ready to talk about it, Lewis?
Of course I am. You want to jump right into it? Do you want to start our first number to talk about?
Yeah, we're gonna go through each kind of category, tell our score, and explain a little bit while talking about how we think the team's gonna do this year. First of all, last year underperformed severely.
Yep.
It was a very common theme throughout the whole season. They didn't even make the playoffs. It feels like they took a big step back in the last couple of years. So we'll see what they can do this year.
We will.
Their lineup, we gave them a 7 out of 10 in their lineup. Their lineup is looking like Tim Anderson at short, Luis Robert at center field, Andrew Benintendi in left field, Eloy Jimenez DHing, Yoan Moncada at third base, Andrew Vaughn at first base, Yasmani Grandal catching, Gavin Sheets playing right field, and Elvis Andrus at second base. What are your favorite parts about this lineup? Or your least favorite?
I don't know. Is it okay for me to say that I'm hopeful that Yasmani Grandal has a bounce back season?
Yeah.
Because, man, let me tell you, if he's not hitting homers, God, does he do nothing else offensively for this team.
Yeah, last season, 5 home runs in 99 games, batted .202. That's basically just existing.
Yeah.
Like, he just kind of went up to the plate and did whatever for however long he was standing there.
He needs to be a lot better, and I understand that you can point to the fact that he might have had some injuries and definitely missed some time, but that's still no excuse to have a .202 batting average when people have been widely considering you a very offensively threatening catcher for the past few years.
Oh, yeah, especially in 2021 when you have 23 home runs in 93 games with a 939 OPS. Like, people are expecting you to come back and actually hit for power the next season.
Yes.
So he just kind of took a very far step backwards. But, like you said, he did have some looming injuries the entire season, so that could have had something to do with it. For me, I mean, the loss of Jose Abreu to this lineup sucks. Now you have Andrew Vaughn sitting in at first base. That's where he's penciled in to be at least. Last season, Andrew Vaughn was actually pretty good. 271 batting average, 750 OPS, 17 homers, 28 doubles, but he's not Jose Abreu.
Oh, so far from it.
Jose Abreu is a different monster, but now he's on the Astros. So, like,
and let me just say, the contract that he got from the Astros, there is no reason as to why the White Sox should not have matched it for a guy that they consider to be like a homegrown superstar, a guy who won an MVP with their organization. I still am kind of taken back at the fact that he's not a White Sox right now.
Yeah, well, the White Sox don't like to pay people as much as people might think.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrew Benintendi, 5 years, $75 million, is the highest paid White Sox of all time.
Yeah, which is
crazy to think about.
Yeah, it goes to show you how good their team once was, quite some time ago.
Well, how good they were without paying their guys, amazing, like incredible amounts of money. It baffles me, but I think Andrew Benintendi is going to be a great addition to this team.
Certainly.
I'm not going to go that far, but he does what Jose Abreu did at a lower level.
Okay.
Like, he still has the 300 batting average, but he's not going to have 40 doubles, and he's not going to have, like, 20 home runs. Like, he just has the batting average. And he can get doubles, he can steal, which is something Abreu couldn't really do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see Andrew Benintendi fit into this team and how good he can play on this specific team, you know?
Yeah, based on how this lineup is structured with Fangraphs has the top of their lineup being Tim Anderson, Luis Robert, or Luis Robert, however you want to say it, and Andrew Benintendi as their 1-2-3. I feel like that's going under the radar because that's a very good 1-2-3. Like, that needs to be recognized just a little bit more because that could very easily be a Tim Anderson double, a Luis Robert single that will score Tim Anderson, and then an Andrew Benintendi single, which then puts runners on first and third with nobody out, and you have the rest of their lineup coming up.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's very easily, we can talk about this team scoring in bunches and winning games based on just their top three players alone.
Well,
and if their offensive production is what people believe it to be. How's that?
Yeah, I'd honestly give them... I think they have a good lineup, even if you just look past the top three. I mean, Eloy. Who would you define as their top three?
Tim Anderson, Luis Robert.
So, like, just the first three.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Top
yeah. Okay, well,
okay.
It could go two ways. It could, yeah. Okay. But even if you look past that, I mean, you have Eloy, who could be very, very good in a full season. Yohan Moncada has been decent throughout his seasons. And then you have Andrew Vaughn, a guy who seems to be underrated sometimes. So, like, it's...
Shockingly.
Yeah, shockingly underrated. It's a good lineup, but then, then towards the bottom, Yasmani Grandal, Gavin Sheets, and Elvis Andrus, like, that's kind of like, you look at that and you're like, oh, forgot they were on the team.
Yeah, that type of thing.
So that's my thoughts on their lineup. Will it be a good lineup? Yes. Does it depend on who they're playing? Yes.
Certainly.
So we'll see how that kind of pans out. Two switch hitters in this lineup, but let's move on to their bench.
Okay.
Which I think is interesting bench. Their bench, we gave it a 6.3 out of 10. Sebi Zavala catching on their bench. Jake Berger, who is a corner infielder. Luray Garcia, who is a utility. And Victor Reyes, who is a non-roster invitee to spring training.
I think he'll get the spot.
Probably. More than likely. It's not a bad bench, but there's certainly nothing that, like...
Pops off the...
Yeah. Like, Sebi Zavala, yes, he had that, 3-homer game that one time?
Did he? Oh, yeah, he
believe
did.
So, and everyone was baffled. But, like, at the end of the day, he's not going to come off your bench and hit 300, or even, like, 200. Last season, in 61 games, he hit 270, which is very good. But can you expect that again?
Not too sure.
I'm not too sure either. It depends. I don't think he'll be playing as much because now Yasmani Grandal seems to be healthy, and I don't think they're just going to bench him for no reason unless he starts to be absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I think that a 6.3 rating for them on their bench is pretty solid.
Pretty fair. Fair and even.
You do have to also take into account that I feel like these guys can be very situational. We could see pinch runners later in the game because they do have Sebi Zavala on the bench who could be the catcher come late times in games. So if Yasmani does work a walk in a one-run game in the 8th inning, I feel like there's a very good argument to be made for him to be subbed at, like pinch ran for.
Yeah.
That type of thing, which players should look out for because I think that's a very good opportunity for them, especially on a team like the White Sox where it does not feel like there's going to be much happening in their organization this year.
Fair. Jake Berger, funny name.
Hilarious name.
That's all I wanted to say.
What do you think he gets whenever he goes to the ballpark himself? Like for food.
I hope a burger.
Really? I feel like he's a ketchup.
Probably vegan.
No, he's probably like a hot dog with like relish type of guy.
I don't even know how you want me to respond to that. Okay.
Let's move on.
Yes, we should ask him.
We should.
Luis Garcia. What interests me here is 2 switch hitters on the bench. If assuming Victor Reyes is on the opening day roster, 2 switch hitters on the bench and 2 switch hitters in the lineup. They could have 4 switch hitters in the lineup on any given day. That's pretty cool. I like switch hitters. I love the idea of a switch hitter.
Switch hitters are fun. Hitters are fun. Oh my god, excuse me. I keep yawning.
We've had a long day.
We certainly have.
But switch hitters, the ability to have 4 switch hitters in your lineup on any given day, that's so fun to me.
Yeah, let's show.
But they're mid, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh my god.
Moving on to their defense. Their defense, we gave them a 7.9 out of 10. We gave them a very good defensive rating, which I feel is so fair. Tim Anderson, great. I can even go down the list here. Tim Anderson, great defender. Luis Robert, 5-tool player. Of course he's a great defender. He's fast. He can cover a lot of ground.
He has a cannon of an arm for center field.
Yeah, which is exactly what they need.
Yep.
Benintendi, great defender.
Of course.
Eloy, if he's DHing, it doesn't really matter.
He plays great defense on the bench.
Yohan Moncada, I can't say I'm too aware of his defense.
It's going to be fine. Like it's not going to be Manny Machado, Nolan Arenado, but it's not going to be, you running up there and playing the hot corner.
You're underestimating me. Andrew Vaughn, defense, nothing crazy. Yasmani Grandal, also not great defensively.
He does have another guy with a
cannon of an arm. But when it comes to like blocking and stuff,
no,
there gets better. There is better.
Yeah.
So he's not like up with the best. But yeah, it's a good defense when you really look at it. I'm kind of curious.
I like how we just did not mention Elvis Andrus. So we went through everybody.
Elvis Andrus is a very good defender as well. Yeah, I'm sorry. I did not mean to undermine Elvis Andrus.
He'll play a good second base. I think that, what did we give them? We gave them a 7.9 on defense, so just under an 8. And I think that's very, very fitting. Especially when you look at their outfield, which I think does carry a lot of that weight. They still have good infielders, but their outfield definitely helps.
Yeah, and Yasmani Grandal, 4 catcher framing runs last year, so not bad. He will not be a minus in the defense spot. So overall, a very good, solid defense all around. Yeah. This is where it gets fun. We're gonna get to their pitching, their starting rotation. We gave an 8.9 out of 10. By far the highest so far. Their starting rotation is looking like Dylan Cease, Lance Lynn, Lucas Giolito, Mike Clevenger, and Michael Kopech. Dylan Cease, dog. He was amazing last season.
There was an argument for him to win the Cy Young last year in the American League.
Yeah, 2.20 ERA. Struck out 227 batters.
Dude put up a casual...
1 complete game shutout.
Yeah, dude put up a casual 6.4 WAR season that if you watched any of his starts, especially around the All-Star break, either before or after, I mean, he looked like he was just effortlessly throwing...
Lights out.
90, 95 plus, lights out, no one's touching him.
I agree. It's incredible. I love it. I love when guys just go out there and just absolutely dog. Like, just, you can tell, like, this guy is built. Like, he came out today ready to throw a perfect game. Like, yes, obviously that's not how it went out, but, like, they always had that in mind. That's what it feels like.
Those top-of-the-end pitchers, and I think Dylan Cease is one of them, they, like Alex just said, go out there and think that today is the day they pitch their perfect game. Yeah. And Dylan Cease is no exception to that. A world-class pitcher after this season, after the 2022 season, where he just absolutely, like, he shoved.
He did shove. Looking further down, Lance Lynn. Oh, also, Dylan Cease's mustache. Love that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Lance Lynn, kind of, I really liked him last year. 3.99 ERA, but he only threw 21. He only had 21 starts because of a couple injuries. But in those 21 starts, he looked pretty good. Lance Lynn is a guy I'm high on for this season. I think, watch Lance Lynn this season. I think he'll be a guy you're going to be a little surprised about. Yeah. Giolito, is going into. This is his contract year, free agent after this season.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He hasn't been great the past few years. Giolito, he had that no-hitter.
He did have a good rebound.
It was I take that back. I said last couple of years. I meant last year. Last year, 4.90 ERA in 30 starts. Not great. Not ideal. Hopefully he can be a little better next season. Get back to his 2021, even 2020, 2019 kind of seasons where he was really one of the best pitchers in the American League Central. He was a very notable pitcher. I hope he gets back to there. I mean, 2019, he was 6th in Cy Young voting. If you can get that Lucas Giolito with that Dylan Cease and Lance Lynn, it's a very dangerous rotation on any given day of the week, which I value pretty high. And then the guy, of course, who they picked up, he was a free agent this season. There are some things going on with him that could make him not pitch once the season starts, a little into the season. But it is Mike Clevenger. Last season, 4.33 ERA, but he's capable of much better, which now pitching in a division like the AL Central, I think it will get better. His numbers will get better because...
Back to the AL Central.
Back to the AL Central, which is where he had his good seasons to begin with the Guardians. And going from the AL Central, a division that's one of the worst in terms of hitters, going from that to the NL West, of course your stats are going to go, your ERA is going to go up. So hopefully you can bring it back down this season. Do you have anything else to say about their starting rotation?
The only thing that I want to touch on is Garrett Crochet, who would be a starter for them. However, Fangraphs does note that he did have Tommy John surgery in April of last year. So I believe if I had to guess, we would see him come back into an extended, like a long reliever type of position, probably right around the All-Star break.
You think Garrett Crochet would start?
I said long reliever.
Oh, okay. Because you said missing from the rotation. That's why.
I think eventually he would be built up to a starter.
I don't think so. He's only been a reliever in his career.
I don't know. I think he has the stuff to be a starter. I'm very high on him as a starter. He did start a lot in the minors.
I don't see him as... I think they're going to bullpen him.
Okay, but
which
even
I think it's fine. I think because their bullpen does need the arms. Yeah, so, there's no point in putting him as a starter.
Well, then let's get into their bullpen.
Yeah, let's get into their bullpen. You want to rate it, and you want to talk about it first?
So, as for the Chicago White Sox bullpen, we gave it a 7 flat, and I'll read off the names here, and then you can we'll discuss it a little bit. Kendall Graveman, coming off an okay season. Aaron Bummer, Joe Kelly.
Oh no. Let's not butcher any names here.
Ronaldo
Lopez.
Ronaldo Lopez, Jake Diekman, Jose Ruiz, Nick Avila, and Jimmy Lambert. It's good. It's good. It's not bad.
It's good in spots.
They do need.
Yeah, we're not mentioning the one guy who makes this bullpen a little bit better too. Liam Hendricks, who was diagnosed with form of cancer over the offseason.
Get well soon, Liam Hendricks.
We're Hendricks.
For you.
I agree.
Let's top it up for Liam Hendricks.
Liam Hendricks. We'll hope to see him back on the field as soon as possible.
The Thunder from Down Under.
The Thunder from Down Under.
Thunder from Down Under.
We'll hope to see him back on the field as soon as possible because he does make this bullpen really, really significantly better than it is now. Same thing with Garrett Crochet, which when he comes back, it will be better. There will be a couple of these guys who won't be who won't be in their bullpen anymore. I love Joe Kelly, by the way.
Oh yeah, Joe Kelly, all-time MLB legend. Kendall Graveman, I think it always depends on the type of season that he has.
Exactly.
But definitely underrated.
Exactly. Depends on the season.
I'm gonna say that I'm high on him coming into the season because we've seen it in years past that he has such potential to be a great reliever, a dominant reliever, if you will. So I'm hoping to see him perform well.
Me too. Fair? No, yeah, that's fair. Do you have anything else to say about their bullpen? I mean, I don't have much else. They're the mid Sox. Yeah. It's just like a low to mid. I
like that they do have options when it comes to late game situations between Aaron Bummer, Jake Diekman, Joe Kelly. Like they they have options, which I feel like most teams don't get that luxury of having options when it comes to who to go to during what time. I mean, hell, we saw it firsthand. The Yankees, who were a much better team than them last year, they were like almost closer by committee for half the season. So it's very outlined that they're not by committee, they're by who they feel like putting out there, because they're all of equal skill, and that skill is very high.
Okay.
Did I say that right? Like, you understood what I was saying?
I understood what you were trying to say, yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I understand what you were trying to say. So, now we get into their coaching, their coaching we gave a 6.1 out of 10. Tony LaRussa is no more.
Thank God. Wait, can I just say something really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Fuck you, Tony LaRussa.
Wow.
All right, so let's continue.
Wow. Foul.
All right. So who's their new coach?
Pedro Grithel? I don't know if I'm saying that 100% right. Not on my radar, I'll be honest. Kind of forgot it happened. Nothing crazy. 6.1 seems fair.
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with him, but it is a good change of scenery.
But Tony.
Yeah. This young lineup for the most part needed a different voice other than old piece of shit Tony LaRussa, who genuinely needs to just, I think, should be now staying out of baseball.
Yeah. Which I think will happen now.
I hope so.
Hope so. Hopefully for I guess the White Sox wouldn't care. But I don't think any team would pick up Tony LaRussa. But I'm very glad this team doesn't have to deal with him anymore, because you could tell last season that it was just, there was some questionable things going on last season when Tony LaRussa was still
guys when the pitcher's ahead in the count, just getting into arguments, and you can even look back a couple of years, openly speaking out against your own players and telling them that the unwritten rules of the game are so important. It's just too old head of a mindset, and it's upsetting that it went on for that long, because in all reality, I think everyone in the baseball world knew that. I feel like there were a few moments in his tenure where you immediately said, fire this guy. Who cares? Get him out of there. It's not right to be such a buzzkill in a otherwise very, very fun lineup.
I agree. I'm glad we have a little difference for them now. Do I think that makes them not mid? No. They're the Mid Sox. They have to live up to the name.
I think we'll see more smiles.
They have the same problem every year. They can't beat good teams.
Yeah.
They can do well against the bad teams. Can't beat the good teams.
Yep.
They're projected to win 74 games this year. Think higher?
Yeah.
I say higher. Mid. 81.
Yeah, 81 and 81. Sounds like a very good record for them.
Moving on to their final category. Energy. We gave them a 6.2.
We did?
We did. I think that's fair.
Tim Anderson
brings
up
a
about
lot of
half of that number.
Well, and Liam Hendricks when he's playing.
Liam Hendricks, of course. Give me Dylan Cease. So I want Dylan Cease to record like an immaculate inning and just walk back to the dugout playing with his mustache. Can I get like some?
That's so random.
Give me some villain arc Dylan Cease. That would pump fucking electricity into my veins.
That's so random. That's so beyond random. But
and of course, Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly, amazing. You got Benny, who can show a lot of emotion. A lot of their pitchers are the big emotion people in this team, which is something that you don't see too much.
Yeah.
Which I love. So I'm all in for the White Sox 6.2 energy. I agree with the score a lot.
Yep.
But yeah, total, out of the 70 total points we could have given them, we gave them a 49.4, the exact same as the Red Sox, which was not planned. That just happened.
Yes.
Which was very funny. But now we get into the fun stuff. Lewis, do you have any rookies you want to tell us about?
Oh, of course. I have some rookies I would love to talk about. So as for some rookies to look out for, I'm going to focus on the number 85 prospect in all of MLB, according to MLB.com, this upcoming season, Oscar Colas. Last season, he was basically a complete and utter rookie. He is ranked second in the White Sox organization.
Oscar what? Oh, Colas. Yeah.
Yeah. He played in 3 different leagues last season. He played in high A ball, double A, and triple A as a first-year player. Amazing. Where he batted .314 with an OPS of .895 over the course of 117 games while recording 151 hits, 23 homers, and 38 walks. The only downside, strikes out way too much to be an impact maker right now at 120 strikeouts. Lefty guy who seems to be very good, would add a lot of outfield depth if they were to add him to the Major League roster at some point. Really hoping to see something with him in the majors. Not rooting for injury, but I do think in the later part of the season he should get a shot because this guy seems to be the truth.
Okay, interesting. Not on my board at all, but that's what I like. I like hearing of guys that aren't on my board.
He signed a year ago for $2.7 million, and if there were one rookie or one prospect I had to tell you that looked hungry to make an impact at the major league level, I think it would be our buddy here, Oscar Colas.
Okay, fair.
And I apologize if I'm butchering his name. I believe he's Cuban, so I might not be saying it completely correct.
All right, well, it's fine. We're clarifying. It happens. But certainly look out for him. And I think we should go on to the next part where we say MVP hitter and MVP pitcher for the White Sox. Lewis, who will be the MVP hitter for the Chicago White Sox this season?
Who would be the MVP hitter? I'm going to say Tim Anderson. A little bit chalk, but he's good for a reason. So give me TA.
Okay. I'm going to go with Eloy Jimenez.
Okay.
If he can stay healthy the whole season, I think he's going to be a dog. He's got power. He's got a lot in that bat.
All right. And as for the MVP pitcher, do you want to say it at the same time?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Dylan Cease. Yeah, Dylan Cease.
Pretty cut and dry.
MVP pitcher. Now, my favorite part, I'm going to say the 2023 White Sox will be, and you say their record. Lewis, you say what place they'll come in. Lewis, the 2023 Chicago White Sox will be in
4th place. Wait. Yeah. No. You have to put them in 3rd.
3rd place.
Yeah.
Mid-Central. I agree. 3rd place. White Sox. Yes. The middle of the division is where they belong.
81 and 81 season. Here they come.
So thank you guys for watching, listening, viewing, commenting, subscribing, following, sharing. And remember, you know your team better than we do. So if you would disagree or agree with anything, let us know in the comments. And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
If anybody sneezed during this episode, bless you.